Good morning, episode 47. I was complaining about text messages and all the ways to communicate, yet it still seems like sometimes people don't get back to you. And truth of the matter is, they don't get back to you. It's not that important. That's a fact. That is a fact. Now, there has been where I just forget, where you look at, you're doing something and you get a text and you look at it and go, all right, I'll get back. And then I forget. That happens a lot and doesn't mean you're not important. It just means I was unable to text you back, go, hey, I'll get back to you. And then there's the callers that'll insist on calling you. And even though a text message will be just fine. But it does seem like I don't remember it being such a contact issue back in the day when it was just pagers, let's say. Like as a kid, you got a pager. That was a big deal. And you had people had codes, so you know who was paging you, because you typed in your phone number. I think it says, like when you call a pager, it says to type in your phone number, and you type in your phone number plus a code. And I think that would show everybody, like, hey, I'm over at this house with this, and this is Ian. And my code was 08. That's how you knew it was me, which was my baseball number at the time. But you always kind of knew that phone call was coming in, right? Like, I don't really remember a lot of paging somebody and the phone call didn't come in. I don't remember that. But it does seem like there's a lot of times where it's just like, especially getting a hold of somebody you don't know, like a business call or a business text or business email, business social media. It takes forever for some reason when it comes to business. Now you could be like, well, that's just because, you're not offering much, or it's not that important. I could definitely say that. Or there does seem to be a lag in response time because of there's just so many ways to communicate that it turns into that people are overly getting communicated. Is that a word? Getting communicated? If it isn't, man, I made that up. So it goes like, for example, like say if you're on Facebook, I get, how many invites I get every day, all day, from people I don't even know, because I guess we're Facebook friends, but how are we really we're not really friends, right? We're just people that have somebody said, will you be my Facebook friend? And I guess I said yes. And I rarely go, hey, you want to be my Facebook friend, even though I have no idea who you are. Never done that in life. Not once. And I go, or, hey, I love your band or something. Yeah, okay. But, ultimately, I usually don't befriend like big bands that I don't know or anybody I don't know, because it doesn't make any sense. I'm just bombarding them with stuff they don't care about. But I get probably 50 invites a day. My email gets bombarded by spam or random emails from people. And then what happens is you just go, I'm getting burnt. I'm getting burnt out on the communication from people that frankly don't matter, or nothing happens with it. There's no business, there's nothing for me to gain from this. And when I say gain, it's like, now, hey, Ian, you want to come to a party, or my band's playing, and I know you, then that makes sense, because I want to come hang out with you. That's what I gain. I'm able to go hang out with you. But it does seem like there's a weird communication thing that's happening because it's so easy to communicate. Like, for example, here's a great example is I heard the late great comedian Patrice ONeil said, because of Twitter and everything, my fans and people can just get a hold of me and they're not supposed to. Like they're like Patrice ONeil said, I'm not supposed to know a lot of these people exist. And I would have to agree on that. And here's why. Because you want to be like, oh man, appreciate you for being a fan. And then someone hits you like, hey man, you're like, if you're a comedian, hey, you're special. Your special was incredible, except you looked really fat in that big ass suit, and you fucked up this word during this joke. Like, they'll hit you with that. And you go, why would they do that? Well, they do. Like, they'll just pick you apart. I've gotten that also. Not so much as others, but, I've gotten some, like, specific emails. And I even get sometimes, even personally, like, oh, man, I got your last song. It definitely feels like you're over pushing your voice. And thank you, random guy. The album's already out. The song's already out. Nothing I can do about it now. Thank you for that. But I guess, it's I do that with musicians and things that I like too. But I'm just saying on a bigger scale, I would imagine it gets irritating. Like a lot of performers should not have to endure every thought from every fan or even someone who isn't a fan that didn't see him. They should not have to constantly get bombarded with how they looked, especially, like a female performer. I mean, look under their YouTube, under the comments. It's unreal. It's unreal where people just zoom in on their facial expressions, zoom in on a freckle, on a little tattoo they got on her ankle. They're just zooming in. Like, it's weird to have that kind of obsession with wanting to see somebody's flaw. Now, hold on. As I say that, I guess I get it, right? Because you want to see a flaw in this person who's so successful and so beautiful and so talented and blah, 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 or not talented, whatever you feel. You want to see their flaws, So I guess I get it. You want to see that they're just like you, but they're not. They're more successful. But there's something to be said about that, though, where you're spending so much time. Like, if you look under a famous, say, a band or pop musician, comedian, whatever, there are thousands and thousands of people writing little notes on what could be better, how the dress looked, how the performance was. His voice was terrible. This band sucks. I can't hear the bass. Yeah, you know what? Probably because it's recorded on a phone at a giant concert, you dummy. But you can't listen to that as a performer. You start to learn, and I think more and more people are starting to understand that it's all just bullshit. It's all just Yelp reviews. You got to ignore all of it, and it's hard to do, especially if you don't get, like if there's not thousands of people commenting. If, say, 10 people comment, and 5 of those people is like, man, this shit sucks, then you go, fuck, does it suck? But who gives a fuck, right? If you're going to do you. If you're going to do what you do. I mean, look, there are more movies on Netflix that suck than that are good, but they're still on Netflix. You know what I mean? I don't have a movie that I've directed on Netflix, but it's just one of those things where you go, you'll be in a movie, like some people can't look. I've heard this. I've been told this and things like that. I played in a few little movies and things like that. And then people will be like, yeah, Ian was in this movie, that movie. And then the guy's like, yeah, I saw it. Fucking sucks, man. All right. Well, look, how many movies you in, motherfucker? I don't know. But I get it. But what's funny is I'll go, hey, this movie sucked. Like, here's a great example. I'm a big fan of I love the Venom comic books as a kid. I love them. And I love Tom Hardy, right? And And don't say I'll be Ian because you look like Tom Hardy. Don't give me that. But no, Tom Hardy's talented as fuck. And but anyways, so I thought that movie sucked. But then at the end of it, I go, did it really suck? Did it really? It didn't suck. You know what I mean? Ian, you can't do that. You can't make a movie like that. So it's like, it didn't suck. It just. I think our palates are tainted too. Movies have to be out of control. They got to be fucking Avatar before it's any good now. You know? So the movie didn't suck, but I just can't get into it. And it's okay. It's all right. But let's be honest. It doesn't suck, guys. You want to see some movies that suck, you can look up some real fucking D-list movies that look like they're shot with the first flip phone. And the acting is just god awful, you know. So, but like, have you done this? Have you been one of those people that left a long comment on a page on how bad it is or how much it sucks and blah? Like, who has that time to do that? You know, especially if there's nothing to gain. Like, I know there's trolls that try to get people to go to their page or try to do, you know, for their business. They troll. They're trying to get people to pay attention by being a troll, by being a heel. But if you spend that time on social media trying to just paying all kinds of attention, like, here's a great example. Here's another example. Now, I love comedy, right? I love comedy. I like comedians. I've been listening to more podcasts these days, especially I like listening to like history podcasts and things like that. Good way for me to educate since I didn't do much learning in high school. But, you know, history is interesting. So I like to listen to like comedy version of history podcasts and things like that. I get sent down this rabbit hole of comedians who I like. And there's just haters upon haters in those comments. Just picking apart every word that's in those podcasts. And, but it's interesting. That's why I'm going through it. I'm like, this seems like a whole group of mentally ill people that have nothing better to do but to write a 4-page essay on why this guy mispronounced this word in this podcast. Like, oh my God, guys. And then I come to find out like there's little podcast beefs, you know, in between some of these comedians. It's so weird, man. And I think what it is are haters, right? Like, it's you're being a little bit of a hater. We've all been there. We all do some hating. I know I do. I go, what the fuck is this bullshit? But here's what I do. I just turn it off and move along. Because when you're bombarded with shit that you hate, and you just spend time on shit that you hate, it fucks your whole day up. So I'll move along. You know, if there's some stupid ass song or something and some dumb artist, you know, something that people love that I hate, you know, you got some whatever, name any rapper that starts with Lil, I hate that one. I'm gonna not say hate. I don't, because I respect the hustle. I definitely respect the hustle and the successfulness. The succession I respect. But I gotta be honest, that music is dumb as fuck. But you know, but I respect the hustle. And I think that's what you gotta do. You gotta respect the hustle. You know? And I got sent down a rabbit hole because there's a podcast that I like called Fighter and the Kid. You know, I'm a UFC fan, so you had this guy that fought, Brendan Schaub, and Brian Callen, who's funny actor, comedian. And my brother and his podcast turned me on to them, and they're good. I like them. You know, they're fun to listen to. And reading some of those comments are ridiculous. You guys are fucking dumb. And then there's full YouTube. There's full YouTube pages directed at hating on this fucking guy in there. That's hating on this UFC fighter. You're hating on this UFC fighter that fucks people up? Really? You're hating on this guy. And you go, well, whatever, he has this many losses in the UFC. Have you ever been in the UFC? Have you made it to the UFC? Have you even Come on. That's crazy. That's crazy. You're not respecting the man's hustle. This guy was in the fucking UFC. That's awesome. And then he has a successful podcast, and then now he's a successful comedian. You're hating? Why don't you ask some questions on how'd you get there? You know what I mean? Maybe what was the path you took to get there? Instead of starting a whole podcast or a whole YouTube page on how much you hate this guy. God, what a waste of time, man. And the guy seems like a good dude, too. Seems like a good dude, and he'll fuck you up. You know what? But where I come from, you keep that same energy. If you're willing to talk shit and start a whole thing, make sure you can back that up face to face. That's how I come from. You know? Where if you're going to talk shit, make sure you have that same energy in front of me. And then I'll respect you more. You know, you're starting a whole page, a whole YouTube channel on how much you hate this guy. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard of in my life. And there's so many of them. That just shows you he's doing something right. You know, like speaking of like UFC, I'm a big fan of Colby Covington, right? And he decided to become the heel. He decided to do a little WWF and become the heel and spout off like super right wing stuff and just because the left and the wokeness was big, so he was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go the other way. But nobody can deny he's a badass fighter. He smokes everybody. If it wasn't for this the champion Kamaru Usman, Colby Covington would be the champion. That's a fact. And Colby Covington's bad and a real nice guy in real life. But he plays this heel in order to get fights because he wasn't getting fights because he just wasn't moving the needle because he didn't have an attitude. He didn't have all this thing. So you know, look, you got to get ahead. You got to make a living. And people just go ape shit over his quote unquote politics, his fake politics. You know, like he has like an Instagram thing that goes, welcome snowflakes and virgins. This is the people's champ here. And he's got like 2 girls in bikinis next to him and he spouts off some bullshit. And people fall for it, man. They go crazy. They go crazy for the act. When I say go crazy, they're upset. They're angry. They're fucking angry. You know, like I was at the gym one time and I was wearing a red and white tank top that had an American flag on it. And the moment this was when Colby Covington was really pushing the boundaries as far as being the heel. And I walk into the gym and you Colby Covington, the guy at the front, you Colby Covington fan, man? And I know how he said it, like he was angry. And I go, well, yeah, actually, how did you know? Oh, the shirt, man, I could tell. And then I was getting ready for him to just be like, hey, you a Trump supporter? Now, this is in Hollywood, so you know, and I'm going, but I just go, yeah, and I saw where it was going, so I bail. And I walk off and get ready for my workout. But it's so funny where it's like this color of this shirt. It's red and white, and it had a little American flag lightly sprinkled on this shirt. But it's funny, like you forget what you're wearing because this is I just wear whatever I wear to go work out. I don't give a fuck. I'm not wearing a full outfit to make a statement, bitch. I'm fucking going in there trying to get a workout so I can get back to work. But it's funny how people just fall for this hater nation. Has anyone ever done that instead of Raider Nation? That it says Hater Nation. I bet you they have. I have to look that up. If not, man, I'm the originator on that. Hater Nation. That's hilarious. I'm gonna call that. That's gonna be the name of the podcast. Hater Nation. But it's weird, and I've been that guy, guys. Like not where I sit there and post and make a sign or anything. I just know in my head, I go, ugh, get the fuck out of here. Oh my God. But I respect the success, man. I respect the hustle. Whether your art sucks ass, but I respect the hustle. And I think that's something important. You got to wonder, like I've heard a lot of this too, where it's like Donald Trump's a fucking moron. I go, well, hold on. Whether you like his politics or not, we can't say he's a moron, right? We can't really say he's a moron. He's pretty smart. He's pretty smart. He's got a lot of guts on how he moves money around. You know, the guy is, we can't say he's not successful. So sometimes when somebody is successful, you gotta take a look at it. You gotta take a look at what they can't be like, this guy's a moron. Well, hold on. We can't say he's a moron. You could say a lot of things. Doesn't matter whatever your political side is. You could say a lot of things, but you can't say he's a moron, right? So, and that goes with a lot of successful people. A lot of them. People, you hear him just saying he's a real piece of shit. He's blah, blah, blah. Or the man's making a ton of money and you're a little jealous. Take a look at that. Because I'm definitely guilty of some of those things also. You know, there's a show that I know one of the actors in, and I'm upset that he got it and I didn't get it. And it's okay. I got a little competitive jealous, but I'm not angry at him. I don't hate him. I just can't watch. I'm like, I should have got that role, motherfucker. Damn, I should have got that one. But I didn't. So that's the name of the game. I'm not hating on this person. I'm not writing an essay on this guy's YouTube page. You know what I mean? But I think I said what I need to say. I'm going to continue through my day and look at how successful people got their job done. Maybe you ought to try doing the same. Check that out. Instead of hating, take a look and see what's happening. Hater Nation, out. That's not bad. I like that. See you guys. Cheers.